it's Miss Esther from Step Ahead Preschool, and we welcome you to our Science Outside Day. Today we have a great experiment for you to help me with. Can you do that? Oh, I'm so happy. Today I have Samuel.
Hi.
And Joshua.
Hi.
And they're going to help me today do our sink or float experiment. I have a lot of things lined up here on the floor, and you can tell me whether you think they're going to sink or float. So if you can give me a thumbs down if you think they're going to sink, and give me a thumbs up if you think they're going to float. I have a big bucket of water here today. And water's a liquid because it takes the shape of any container I put it in. And today, the water is the shape of my big clear bucket. Okay? So Samuel, could you pick up our first item? Come on over and show our friends what you have.
This is a basketball.
Basketball, do you think it's going to sink or float? Give it a guess. Let's see. What do you think? Do you think it's going to sink or float? All right. Sam, hold it up high. Let's see if it sinks or floats. Oh my goodness. Is that sinking or floating, Sam?
It's floating.
It's floating, so it would be a thumbs up. It's floating. I'm going to put our basketball over in our floating pile. Joshua, could you take the next object? Stand behind and show our friends what you have today.
It is a number 2 pencil.
A pencil. Do you think our pencil is going to sink or float? Can you guess? Ooh, good guess. Let's see, Josh. Hold it up high. Our pencil, friends, is floating on top of the water. All right, let's do our next one. Samuel, could you pick up the piece of paper?
This is a piece of paper with a little guy on it.
Very good. Do you think, friends, our paper is going to float or sink? Let's find out. Ooh, our paper is floating on top of the water. So we will put it in the float section. Good job. Joshua, could you please go get the piece of wood? Joshua, what do you have?
A piece of wood.
Wonderful. So our piece of wood, it's pretty heavy. Let's see. Do you think, friends, it's going to sink or float? Good guess. Let's see. What is our wood doing? It is floating. We're going to put it in the float pile. Okay, Sam, could you pick up that spoon? Sam, what do you have?
It's a wooden spoon.
Ooh, wait a minute, Sam. It's made out of wood, just like our wood over here that floated. I wonder what that spoon is going to do. What do you think, friends? Is it going to sink or float? All right, that's a good guess. Here it goes. Sam, what is it doing?
It's floating.
Our spoon is floating because it's made out of wood, just like our block of wood. Float. Boy, there are a lot of things that have floated. Do we have any things over here that have sunk yet? No, but we're going to give it a try. Joshua, could you pick up that spoon, please?
This is a metal spoon.
Ooh, so it's made out of metal. Let's feel. Feels a little heavier, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, friends, can you give it a guess? Is it going to sink or float? Good guesses. Let's see if you're right. Oh my goodness, that went all the way to the bottom. So what did it do?
It sunk.
It sank. Very good. We're going to pull it out. That's our first object in the sink pile. All right, Sam. Oh my goodness, it's a banana.
This is a banana.
All right, friends. Our banana, let's feel it. What do you think, Sam? Do you think it's going to sink or float? What do you think?
I think it's gonna sink.
All right, Sam thinks it's going to sink. What do you think, friends? Sink or float? Those are some good guesses. Let's see, Sam. Oh, it is floating. You were right. Our banana floats. It went all the way down and bounced back up, and it floats. Joshua, what do we have there?
Some feathers.
Some feathers. Do you think they're going to sink or float?
I think they might float.
Float? Let's see what our friends think. Friends, do you think feathers are going to sink or float? Good guess. Let's give it a try. What did our feathers do, Josh?
They floated.
They floated. We'll put them in the float pile. Sam, what's next? You're our fruit guy. What do you have?
An apple.
An apple. Let's see. An apple's like a fruit just like our banana. What do you think our apple is going to do? Can you give a hypothesis or a guess?
I think it's gonna float like the banana.
You think it's going to float like the banana? Let's see. Is it, friends, is it going to sink or float? What did our apple do, Sam?
It floated.
It floated. Could you put it in the float pile, please? Good job, friends. Boy, oh boy, a lot of things float, don't they? And we have our lonely spoon over there that sinks. Joshua, could you pick up the cotton? What do you have?
Some cotton.
Is cotton light or heavy?
Very light.
Very light. So what do you think it's going to do?
Float.
You think, Josh thinks the cotton is going to float. What do you think, friends? Do you think it's going to sink or float? Let's find out. Oh, what is it doing, Josh?
It's absorbing water. It's floating.
So it started out floating.
But now it's sinking.
Oh my goodness. So when we put something in water that can suck up the water like a sponge, absorb it, what happens?
It sinks.
It sinks. It does sink. So our cotton sank after it was floating because it absorbed the water. So we're going to put it in the middle because cotton by itself floats. But you put cotton in water and it sinks. Let me show you something else. What would happen if we put cotton in a plastic bag and not let the water touch it? Then what do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna float.
You think it's going to float? Why? What made the cotton sink over there?
Because it absorbed water.
So if I put cotton in a plastic bag, can it absorb water?
Nothing's gonna touch the water now.
Nothing's good. No cotton's going to touch the water. Let's see if it floats. You're right. When I put my cotton in the plastic bag, it floats because it does not absorb water. Good hypothesis. So we're going to put this one over here. All right. Josh, could you pick, oh, was that you, Josh? Sam, could you pick up the mask, please? Oh, we're all too familiar with these, friends. These are our face masks, one of our face masks that we wear for school time. So, friends, do you think it's going to sink or float? What do you think, Sam?
I think it's made of cotton.
So that's made of cotton just like that. So what do you think is going to happen?
It's gonna float and then absorb the water, then sink.
All right, that is a great hypothesis. Let's see if you're right. It's floating. What's happening? Is it absorbing water?
Yes.
Yes, it's absorbing water, and as it takes on the water, it starts to sink. So there it goes, just like our cotton balls, all the way to the bottom. Good hypothesis, Sam. I'll put that in the middle, too, with our wet cotton. Joshua, could you pick up that wrench? Friends, what do you think is going to happen with our wrench? Josh, what do you think? Sink or float?
Well, it's made of metal like that spoon that sunk.
So what is your hypothesis?
I think it will sink.
Okay, hold it up high. Friends, what do you think? Sink or float? Okay, give it a try. Oh my goodness. Is it sinking or floating?
Sinking.
It's sunk to the bottom. Let's put that by our spoon, Sam, please. Good job. Sam, could you do our clothespin? Sam, what is our clothespin made out of?
Wood, just like the spoon and the block.
And where are the spoon and block? Did they sink or float?
They're float.
They floated. So let's see, friends. Do you think our wooden clothespin is going to sink or float? Good guesses, good hypothesis. Let's see. Hold it up high, Sam. What happened, Josh?
It floated.
It is floating. Let's put it in the float pile. Oh my goodness, friends. Oh, look at this. It is a giant pumpkin. Sam and Josh, could you hold our pumpkin right over? Okay? Both of you back up a little. Okay? So friends, we have a giant pumpkin. Sam and Josh, I'll hold the pumpkin for a minute. What is our hypothesis? Do you friends think our pumpkin, oh my goodness, is going to sink? Or do you think my giant pumpkin is going to float?
That thing's huge.
It's humongous. Sam and Josh, could you hold your hands under here, and when I count to 3, I'll go 1, 2, 3, you drop it, okay? Hang on. You may get wet. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Oh, I don't know. We need to hold it up higher. Okay? Ready, friends? Is it going to sink or float? Hang on to it. Mom's going to back up over here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness! Our pumpkin is floating. Oh, can you get a shot over here and show our friends that our pumpkin, no matter how big it is, our pumpkin, our giant pumpkin, floats! Well, friends, I hope you had fun with us today. You can do the same experiment at home, in your bathtub, or in your kitchen sink. Just make sure you get Mom and Dad's permission before you do, and also show Mom and Dad all the objects you collect around the house that you want to sink and float. Not everything should go in water, so check with Mom and Dad first before you try this wonderful and amazing and wet experiment at home. Can you guys say